You're in tune to WMB1 Radio. It's the sounds of Mags in the morning with J-9.
Good morning.
Good morning on this lovely Tuesday. I can't even say cold morning. It's a comfortable hoodie morning. Unusually mild.
Yes.
And very thankful for it. Very, very, very thankful. So as we spoke about in the beginning of the show at 10 o'clock, roughly about an hour from now, we're going to have an interview with our headliner. Top Flight is his name, and he hails from Philadelphia. And he will be live here via radio, via telephone interview. And he's going to tell us a little bit about, what type of jokes he's going to be cracking.
Yeah, Friday night.
And we're gonna interview him, find out, a little bit about him, and try to get a little insight on him before he graces our stage on Friday night at the Wheeler Inn and Suites, which is happening this Friday, November 15th. It's WMB1 Radio's monthly comedy show. As I said, Top Flight is the headliner. Also, we have Monique Latisse.
Monique Latisse on the card, ladies.
Yes. We're not forgetting the ladies.
Yeah, we can't forget the ladies.
No.
We will never be forgotten.
No.
Let's just start there.
No.
But, yeah, she's a great comedian.
Also, we have our super host, Mr. Chris Tabb, hailing from Boston. People love that guy. They love that guy. They're like, the host is so funny.
He's hilarious.
He's crazy. He's
hilarious.
This is what we do. We have great comedians. And so yes, if you haven't grabbed your tickets, do so now. You can grab them by going to WMB1.com, or you can get in touch with any one of us, and we'll try to get those tickets to you. As you know, Steve Lopes, he does all the delivering. You can contact him directly at 860-209-8358. That is how you can get in contact with Steve and how he can grab you those tickets. All right. Remember, tickets are $25 in advance. The night of, they go up to $30 because yesterday's price is not today's price. No. All right. So we have something that we need to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Go ahead. What are we talking about?
So we were looking for some things to talk about, and this one is quite a poker. It's the phones. It's something to do with the phones, right? Should couples have access to their significant others' phones? Should they have access? Meaning, should they be able to pick up their phone at any given time and be able to go through it? I think so. I'll go first. I think if you're going through someone's phone, having to go through someone's phone, there's already issues. There's suspicion. I don't think that. Yeah, you can grab my phone at any point in time and look at it, but I think if you're going to be looking, there's some type of trust issues if you're having to constantly go through it. But if casual, like our phones are sitting on the on the coffee table, and the phone goes off, and the female casually grabs it and looks at it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, but to let me see your phone. That's an issue. That's an issue. There's already some pre-exposed things that have gone down, and which have ultimately caused trust issues.
Yeah.
Your take on it?
The casual grab is being nosy. You're being nosy. Like, That's just another form of going through your phone. So when an alert comes up, the text is right there. You pick it up and you read it. And then there's another question. Mind your business. It's not your phone. I don't even understand it. Are you going to take, first of all, I don't even like texting, period. So are you going to respond to all those messages in my phone? That I don't feel like there's a need for it. I like that Apple. I don't know if Android has this,
What?
but Apple has something where you can go in, because I used to always be like, oh, you should have the code to their phone in case of an emergency, or God forbid something happened to them, you have access to photos or contacts. So there's something in your phone where you can, if you do pass away or there's an emergency, you can put who you want to have all that information from your phone,
Yeah.
and you can limit it.
Sort of like a next of kin.
Yes,
type of deal.
exactly.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah, so they have it. When I got my new phone in July, it was on there. So it's like, who would you like to leave your phone to? And then who, say you just lost your passwords and stuff, you can have someone as long as they're like 13 and up. I put my daughter Storm, like it will give her phone alerts so that I can get into my phone if I ever got locked out of my phone. But there's no need for it. You wouldn't even understand some of the messages. Do you know what I mean? So if we had a conversation today and I text you tonight and just put, hey, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like, what's 10 a.m.? When did you guys talk before? What's,
Yeah, I just think that obviously in today's society, there's so many ways in which you can go on and cause infidelity.
mm-hmm.
Social media, phones. Before it used to be obviously face-to-face contact,
Yeah.
or face-to-face meetings, but now with mobile devices, there are so many ways in which you can, you can skirt around and do things. But to me, it's like, if you're constantly having, like I said, if you're, let me see your phone. Oh, who's that? Who's texting you? There's underlying issues already.
Exactly.
I see no reason to have to hide a phone, or to have to turn it off, or whatever the case may be. If my phone goes off, yeah, you can see I could care less.
All right, but how many apps are there these days, right? I don't have them. I know they exist. Well, I have WhatsApp. That took me forever to just install. But how many apps are there that you can have locked, not even on your home screen, right? That you're using to talk or communicate with someone. So you can go through my whole phone, see all my texts, but unless you go into that locked another app, it could be another access to talk to people.
Yeah. They have all these crazy apps. I mean, they have apps literally that you can like you can
Go ahead.
text.
It's like
you could text from another number.
yeah,
like a
oh,
dummy
absolutely.
number.
Everything.
It's crazy. I mean, that's just too much work for me.
It is work.
It
is work, but the person who is doing something that they shouldn't be doing is probably going to put work into it because they don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
So the app, somebody's using the apps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just
me. It came in handy in 1994 for me.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, so if you're just tuning in, we're talking about should couples have access to each other's phones? Should your significant other be able to look at your phone at any given point in time? I just, like I said, yeah, and it's weird because like everyone and everyone nowadays has locks on their phone, right? That's a security feature.
Yes, which I don't mind that.
Yes, that's a security.
I think that's
feature.
necessary.
That's a security feature, right? So it's not as if you're trying to hide something. Instead, you're trying to protect your phone in case you lose it. I mean, because let's just face it, I do a lot on my phone. I pay bills and stuff. So if I didn't have a lock on it, I don't have.
Your OnlyFans.
I don't have. Yeah, I mean, obviously I have a lock on it, but just think about it, right? You do your banking on your phone, and how
Mhm.
lazy are we, right? As today's generation, that we save passwords, right? Um, so for me, it's a fingerprint. That's a security measure for my bank, for my banking and stuff. I just don't, you can't just tap on my banking app and get into my bank. It's fingerprint protected.
Yeah.
So, but just think about the people who don't or who may not have those um, enabled. Like you could just open up a phone, tap on it, and the password or is already pre-saved,
Mhm.
um, and you can just easily get into their account.
Yeah.
Or social media, you can, someone's phone. I know we used to do this a lot when I was at work. We would like literally like if somebody left their phone on the table, we would hit it to see if they there wasn't any password on it,
Mhm.
and we
Mhm.
would immediately go to their social media and
And
put something
hack
stupid on
there.
it,
I like
you
doing
know
that still.
and then 15-20 minutes later they have all kinds of comments, like
And
people
they're like,
laughing
wait,
at them.
why did I
Yeah,
get these
yeah.
comments? What's so funny?
So yeah, I mean that I get it. It's a security feature. It's not necessarily trying to be sneaky or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean overall, I mean I'd have no problem with, like, yeah, you can look at my phone. You know, if you do you know contest it, then there may be some underlying issues.
Yeah.
There may
Which
be
I
some
get
underlying
that, but I
issues.
don't feel like it should be necessary. And if you have a question or if you have some feeling in your gut, your energy is off, maybe you need to check yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Um,
it's a receipt too.
yeah. Yep.
Phone calls are a receipt.
Yes, they
Text
are.
messages are receipts.
And you know what's wild in today's day and era is people screenshot.
Of course.
People screenshot.
Screenshot. They'll take a photo with another phone.
They'll screenshot.
Who has time
So
for that?
so I mean, ultimately, you may be able to erase it from your history, but you know the other end has all the proof in the world. They have all the other proof in the world. So you can sit there and, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Well, let's pull that phone up, right?
Yeah.
And look at this. You know what? We're going to screenshot all the text messages, all the calls, everything. So it's just another way of getting caught and doing what you're not supposed to do. So leave us your opinion on the link. In the link below, should couples have access to each other's phone? Is it a deal breaker? Like, okay, I could see in a new relationship, right? Someone's courting you guys are going out for maybe 2 weeks, and then the girl says, "Can I see your phone?" Absolutely not.
Hell no.
Hell to the no, right? I think in order for you to have access to my phone, it's going to take it's going to take a minute. And
I
I
don't even want
wouldn't,
you to have access to my life now if you're
yeah,
asking that 2 weeks
yeah.
in.
I wouldn't expect the same of a female.
Mhm.
For me to say, "Oh, give me your phone," or let me. No, no, it's just not that way. You have to work your way in. Um, just as it would be with your feelings, you have to, before you fully let somebody in, right? You got to entrust in them, right? And that's how it works with the phone. It's just another layer to
Mhm.
get up into someone's personal space.
And it is personal these days.
Yeah.
Your phone, it's
Your
not
phone
like
is your
your phone
lifeline.
before. It's
Your
every
phone is your lifeline.
single thing, apps on your life, your
Yeah.
day. It tracks
Your phone
your
is your
heart rate.
lifeline.
Like,
Yes,
yeah.
it is. It has a lot of personal information. Not only you know with friends and family, but once again, your financial information,
Mhm.
personal information. So yeah, it would be work um, for someone to sit there. Obviously, it has to be a significant other, where you can sit there and say, okay, yeah, you can go through my phone,
Mm.
because, like you said, in today's day and age, you have everything on that phone, everything. So,
My
definitely.
kids stay in my phone. They will get a code just looking over your shoulder with a heavy glance. It's in there.
But it's funny. Try to grab their phone.
Oh, they no,
Absolutely
no,
not, right?
no.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, I'm shutting the bill. I'm shutting the phone
Yeah,
off.
yeah. No, you can't touch my phone, but you want to
Mm-mm.
grab my phone.
Mhm. Yes, they
Kids is
do.
just that way. But yeah, so yeah, leave a comment in the link below. Let us know what you think. Um, should couples have access to each other's phones?
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And why?
Yes, yes. What do you think? Your thoughts? Let us know, and we'll get back to it. Okay. In news, I don't know if you heard, last week, Waka Flocka was.
He got a couple charges.
Oh no no
Right?
no 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 no! He was trending, because, um, he is uh, obviously the week before the election, he came out, and he said that, he was a Trump fan,
Mhm.
and the community did not take too well to it. So, in turn, what happened was, a lot of people put the cancel effect on him.
Yeah.
And so what happened was, he actually had a meet and greet canceled by
Oh, I did see that.
one
I
of
did see
by
that.
one of the liquor representatives,
Yes.
that he was supposed to come and
Mhm.
do an appearance at. So they released a statement, saying, I'll read it right now. Uh, um, they just basically said that they don't share his views, and, at this time, basically, they are canceling him, and are not going to have him, as a representative, for their brand at the
Yeah.
meet and greet.
Yeah.
And he came back, and he basically gave his response. He said, "Imagine living in a country that was built on free speech to ultimately find out free speech is only given to those who don't go against the system. A lot of people need to wake up. Y'all being used for a bigger agenda. Free speech is free speech. My decision for who I vote for is my decision. Y'all talking about freedoms. One of my meet and greet events in DC was canceled today because of some people's opinion, because they harassed the liquor store until they canceled me.
Mhm.
Then they spin it like I did something wrong for having an opinion. That's freedom."
Mhm. Mhm.
So we talked about this last week, right? Um, having an opinion, for who you vote for, or who you follow, or what religion,
Mhm.
is fine. But on the other end, it is also it is also the people that who are going to employ you. It is also their decision
Facts.
to employ you, if they are going to hire you, if it's in their best interest in moving forward. Because let's
Mhm.
face it, if it is the wrong person um, that you're representing, it's going to affect your wallet.
Mhm. Mhm.
So there's a cause and effect here, right? It's a
Yeah.
cause and effect, all right. And he's basically saying, well, I should be able to vote for, or to vote for anyone, or do as I please, and no one should sit there and question me for it.
Mhm.
Now, here's where it gets a little messy, right? We all know that, the whole voting thing is very it's it's crazy nowadays.
Yeah.
You can't go online and say, I'm voting for this person because there's going to be pushback. There's going to be opposition. And a lot of people nowadays think that if they come on social media and they say, I'm voting for, I'm going to, I'm riding with Trump or I'm riding with Harris, that there's not going to be any repercussions. That is false.
Yeah, if you're riding with them, then you're riding with
That's
them.
false.
So their views, their opinions, everything that they say, you're riding with.
So,
That liquor store could you imagine? They would have had to call security. They could have got burnt down.
yeah.
I don't think they were wrong in what they did. That was their choice too.
So you do got to understand there are repercussions for everything that you do or you say.
Were there comments to him saying that? Bless you.
I feel a sneeze coming on.
Bless you.
But yes, yeah, people were going in. They were just like, they were basically saying, you belong to the hip hop community and you should be rolling with us. And he felt otherwise, which is perfectly fine. But you can't mix business with your preference, your personal preference, because what you're voting for may not necessarily reflect the business that who is employing you.
Yeah.
It's just like if you came out and you said something about a certain group, and it's the same effect. If you came out and you made a comment about a certain group, that group's going to stand up and be like, oh no, it isn't going. It's the same thing. You took a side for a certain group, so the other group came out and
you could have just moved in silence.
Exactly.
But if you want to come out and act as if you're an activist, then these are the
everyone,
situations you're going to run into.
Everyone today wants to have their voice heard. Now, we can go back and we can look at some famous celebrities, right? Who, in the beginning, when I say in the beginning, I'm talking about in the beginning of the Trump era, who basically were donning those red hats, make America great again, right? And one was Tom Brady. And he immediately saw the pushback, and it was never ever discussed again. All right, because he saw how explosive it was and how people got really crazy about it, and he never mentioned it again. Never mentioned it again. I believe, and the craziest thing about it, it wasn't verbal with him. He didn't come out and say, I support Trump. It was the red MAGA hat that was in his locker room.
You are saying, yeah.
So, he basically said, listen, it was sent to me, and people were like, why did you have it in your locker then? And they were questioning him, and he, the pushback was like, listen, I play football. I'm not here to promote anyone or anything. That was something that was in my locker. I didn't have it on. People try to press him on it, but right away he was like, okay, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
And it can affect my, literally affect my brand.
Yeah.
So I am not going to make any mention of it. And now, here we are. We're back at, Waka Flocka. You just need to look back at history and see the people who have, for both sides too, who have chosen to speak out and to use their platform to say, I support this one or I don't support them. There's going to be pushback.
Yeah.
Just as it is your freedom to publicly go out there and state that I am going to support this person, it is also the other person's right to say, well, you know what, that's good. but I don't support him. I don't support him, and I am not going to hire you because I don't believe in your views.
Yeah.
There's repercussions to everything that we do.
Consequences.
Yes, there is, and this is the reason why when we talk about voting, once upon a time it was considered a sacred thing. All right, there is a reason why we go into booths with curtains or partitions, and it's supposed to be secret.
Yeah.
But how crazy politics is now. Everybody wants to go out and say, "Hey, listen, make a post or whatever, or talk about it." Which is your right, but also do know that on the other side of it, there's going to be repercussions because I think one of the craziest things that I wouldn't say crazy, but it went viral. I believe there was a black couple in South Carolina who was going to hire a person. I believe they were it wasn't they weren't even hiring him. He just came to give an estimate on I believe it was something to do with their house. I don't know if it was siding or roofing, something of that nature. And the guy showed up, drove an hour and 10 minutes away to come and give an estimate as to how much it would cost. And he showed up in a pickup truck with "Make America Great" flag. And the couple were like, they went live right away, and they were like, and not only did they have that, they
went live.
They went live.
Yeah.
He had a Make America Great flag and a Confederate flag on the back of his pickup truck, and he showed up at someone else's house
to do a quote. Something. Yeah.
So immediately, the husband went live, and the woman, the wife, she was livid. She was like, "Oh, hell no, he didn't." She's like, "Okay, we're gonna handle this." So he walked up. He's like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm such and such." She was like, "Oh no, we're gonna stop it right here. Number one, you have a Confederate flag. That is highly offensive to me.
Yes.
Being African American, it's highly offensive, and also, you have make America. That's not something I support, and I don't want to do business with you." And he was like, I didn't know that, And she's like, "Yeah." So she started breaking down what the Confederate flag meant too, and everything. And he was like, "Oh, I wasn't aware of it." She's like, "Well,
Did
next
you take
time."
it down?
She said, "Well, next time you go, you decide to go to someone's house in your, in while you're on duty, literally, and you decide to show and express your personal and political beliefs, do know that it might affect you. Do know that this is, you are rolling up to African American people. Well, we find it highly offensive, and let this be a learning lesson." And he was kind of dumbfounded, but it's one of those things where I'm sure now he doesn't roll up to a potential business uh, uh, proposition with political and personal flags.
Correct.
And this is something that like I said, that Waka Flocka is learning. You can't go out there and just
gonna affect him.
Yes. So yeah, this is where we're at, and he finds it hard to believe. But you gotta know. You can't mix. Your personal and political views while you're getting ready to do a business venture. And I'm sure it is the same both ways. It's not just one side.
No, not at all.
If I were to show up at a if I were to, let's just say I would have, a flag that says Black Power,
Mm-hmm.
with, a Kamala, sign, and I was in, a predominantly Trump neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they'd be like, hell no.
You're not fixing my shutters.
Yeah, they'd be like, hell no. So yes, just realize that, you know, taking a side is fine. It is your your right, but it is also the other person's right not to hire you because of who you're representing.
Yeah.
Um, a sobering, but something that's reality, and that is it. So yeah,
Walk a flop that.
yeah. So he was canceled real quick. I you know I, I imagine, if you're going to go in front of a liquor representative, I'm sure he was getting paid good money.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to come out and state, and be that sensitive about it, I'm sure it was a significant amount that he
Yeah,
lost.
absolutely.
So yeah, there's repercussions to everything. Everything you say and you do, yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. I've had people inbox me and say, well, I'm not listening to your station because you support this one or you support this one. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's your right not to want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's your right to turn up. You know what? That's your right. Fine. Move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Basically.
There's a time for it, and then there's a time not for it. But that's one of the things with political views. I think that uh, a lot of people need to understand. They're like, oh, they're going to cancel me. Oh, yeah, they're going to cancel you. You are going to get canceled because it is also, just like you're expressing your political view, it is also um, their right to sit there and say, well, no, I don't express views and I don't want to hire you. That's their right. So, yeah, that's what happened with Waka Flocka.
SID. Shut it down.
That's what happened with Waka Flocka. Also, so in about, I want to say around noontime, they're going to announce the sexiest man alive. Sexiest man alive.
Yes, I know. I saw a couple of the guys they had running up, and I was like, "There's nothing sexy
I want to know
about that man."
I want to know who votes on this. That's what I want to know.
I know.
I'd like to know who's in charge of voting, like sexiest woman alive, sexiest man alive, because I did see some past winners. And
well, they had Method Man. Was it Method Man one before? And he looks good. Last few years.
Some of them are like, okay, yeah, I could see it. Some of them are like head scratches. They're like, how, when, and
yeah, where are you finding anything attractive about this? Yeah, so a few of the people that I saw that were in the line for the sexiest man alive, I'm like, there's nothing sexy about this man. Yeah. So I don't know.
So, ladies, in the comments below, let us know some of your sexiest men.
I'm trying to think of who I would. I'm gonna figure it out who I think. Alive.
Yeah. When we come back from break, we'll dive into it and see. So yes, ladies, in the comments below, leave some of your sexiest men alive. Leave some of the
I always go to the athletes.
I just look at it and I said nah. I know off the top of my head I'm just like, I don't know. I can't sit here and say, oh, he's this or he's a handsome looking guy. But when I do see him, I'll judge him.
I'll have a couple.
Way. But yeah,
none on the top of my mind right now.
But time is now 9:30. We're gonna be back up in a little under a half an hour with our interview with our comedian Top Flight, who is our headliner this Friday, coming up at the Whaler Inn and Suites for our monthly comedy show. So stay tuned for that. It's happening at 10 a.m. All right. We're gonna get back to the music, and then when we get back, like I said, we'll talk about that in length, as well as the interview. So stay tuned for that. All right. Until then, we're gonna get back to more of the music and do what we do best. Wake you up.
You wake up.
Let's go. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.